Yeah.
I told you about this, what I said earlier, but what I'm saying is you cannot force your audience to switch to something else. Like, if you are trying to make them switch over to fractals because fractals are good, you need to do it by, like, you need to make it organic, you know what I mean? Like, if I went into your house and I tore up all your carpet and you wanted carpet and I just put down hardwood floor and I was like, hey, hardwood floor is better, you would not be very happy because you don't have a choice, right? Even though hardwood floor is better because it, like, you know, it's more expensive, it looks nicer, and you can put a carpet on it if you want. But the point is, like, you can't be forcing the player's hand like that, which is what Guild Wars is trying to do by taking out the dungeon rewards.
I see. Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, there were certain dungeons I was okay with them nerfing. Like, Sea of Part 1, fine, okay. It's fine. Like, like 5 minutes for, like, what, 2 gold or something? That, yeah, okay. You know what? I'll give you that one. But COE? Aether Path?
Yeah.
No way. CO Part 3 even, I'd say. Like, why nerf those? Those already took, like, a pretty decent amount of time. Those were, like, the, like, kind of hardcore dungeons. Like, you know, as hardcore as dungeons get.
I mean, they wanted you to start. They wanted to transition the dungeon community over to fractals. You can make like a decent amount of gold. You can make like 7, 8, 9, 10, up to like 15 gold from opening those fractal boxes.
Yeah, but it's just like
I don't agree with it. No, of course I don't agree with it. I hate it, but I mean, I understand why they did it. They just
with all these changes, it hasn't been enough to sway me to actually go over to fractals, even though there's a more money incentive to run fractals. Like, it just isn't the same for me. Like, I think some people would argue that, oh, you know, if you put more gold into fractals than dungeons, then people will run fractals more. But I don't know, that's not the case for me. Like, I still rather run a raw with like 5 people normally, or run CM, COF, COE with like 5 groups of people. Like, it was just the fact that like I could select which path, you know, and they were just simple content instead of
Also, there's like the amount of time commitment for each path. Like, if I had time, or if I'd run like all COE and then like COF Part 3 and 2. But like, if I didn't have time, I was like, alright, we'll just do the quick stuff, like AC and then COF Part 1. But like, what do we have with fractals? We have Swamp, and then we have all the super long ones, and that's it. Like, I don't want to. No, I need that mid tier content. I need like more like shorter tier content, other than just Swamp. You know.
Like, you shouldn't have to convince someone that a Mercedes-Benz is better than a Corolla.
These analogies, Buck.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm just
with
saying.
The analogies, man. Oh man.
You shouldn't have to convince someone that. So if they want to make fractals better, you shouldn't have to convince people by not giving them a choice to do dungeons. It's as simple as that. If you could earn 100 gold from fractals, I'm sure no one would be doing dungeons.
Well, no one already is doing dungeons. So.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, if they kept the dungeon rewards around, but then you could do Swamp and get 100 gold, they would not. I know, obviously, it would crash the market and everything, but I'm just saying, like, if the deal was that sweet, like, you know, naturally everyone's gonna switch over, right?
Like, I feel like they just need to boost the rewards on like the longer fractals. Like, Cliffside doesn't give me anything for the amount of time I put into Cliffside. And like, I feel like I already get nothing for doing Swamp, but at least I get the dailies out of the way, right? So.
Yeah, I don't know, I just hope that dungeons will be revitalized in some way. I know ANET's current plan and stance is that they want dungeons to be dead, but I feel like they're just throwing away so much potential, so much work, and a good chunk of the player base. While I know, well, I'm pretty sure I heard that most of the player base in Guild Wars 2 does open world PvE content, but I'm sure they could easily get more people in if they had a more committed like dungeon team, which they don't anymore, but still. Like, I feel like with raids it's too hard for most players to get into, and then they're just left with Fractals of the Mist or open world content. And
Yeah, you're missing like a pretty vital learning portion. Like, I learned most of the things I learned in this game through dungeons.
yeah, I
And
think
now
I've
that
learned the
dungeons aren't there,
most.
it's just like,
I think I've learned the most through just soloing a raw. At least like knowing my class really well and knowing
Yeah.
like
I completely agree with that. From trying to solo Loopy, I never got it down. I never got it down, but
it's hard. He can be really difficult. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm eating right now. But like just learning the mechanics of dodging his abilities really helps you understand like what you need to do. Helps you be a better player and all that stuff.
like dungeons even help you learn how to gear as well. Like the amount of times just like, oh well, you should be building this because like that's the meta for dungeons, and like the meta is the same for fractals. So like it just kind of transferred over. Like I didn't even know about combo fields until I started running dungeons. So like, how are you expecting people to let's just jump into fractals, especially like the 1 to 20 ones? Like they're just face roll. Like I don't need to know combo fields to run 1 to 20. But like COE, yeah, I need to know combo fields. I need to know all that shit, or even a raw.
Yeah.
Ugh, this game though.
Anyways, but yeah, I'm hopeful that ANET will figure something out by this year, because I don't know how much their player base is retaining through Heart of Thorns, but I'm hoping that they would open up again towards the mid-tier level players who want some sort of endgame content through dungeons or fractals. I highly doubt they're going to make that many new fractal content. Like, they might add 1, maybe 2 new instances to fractals this year at most. But I feel like they had so many options with those dungeons. They could have like went back and redesigned the rewards a little bit better to accurately portray how hard a path is to give better rewards. Like right now, every time I pugged with people and they ran a raw and they would only get 1 gold now instead of the 3 gold, and they kind of laugh at the idea because it's completely not worth the time and effort to put into this only to get that 1 gold out of the raw run. Yeah. But anyways, alright, that's just one I wanted to talk about with
I'm gonna do some
No,
fractals.
you're right though.
Any of you guys want to join?
I'm doing
Yeah, I'll
guild
join.
missions right now, but
Okay.
I will after.
Are you gonna finish soon?